Everyone, I'm Rekha Murthy, Assistant Professor from Department of Electrical Electronics Engineering from SVIT. Today I'm here to explain the problem on speed control of a DC shunt motor. So this belongs to the electric motors subject from 4th sem Triple E. So the problem is a 200 volt DC shunt motor takes 22 ampere at rated voltage and runs at 1000 rpm. Its field resistance is 100 ohm. So let's write down the given data parallelly. So the given data is the voltage V 200 volts with a DC shunt motor, so which takes a current of 22 ampere. So the current which takes is the line current. The line current of 22 ampere with the speed of n as 1000 rpm, right? So here we can see that its field resistance of the 100 ohms. Okay, so the field resistance means it is a shunt motor, so therefore we have to denote it as R shunt. So R shunt is equal to 100 ohms, and the armature circuit resistance including a brush is 0.1 ohm. So that is RA value, which is 0.1 ohm. Compute the value of the additional resistance which is required in the armature circuit. So we have to determine the value of the additional resistance Rx to reduce the speed to around 800 rpm. So therefore you can see that the two circuits we have to draw. So the one circuit, the first circuit, a normal circuit which runs with the speed of 1000 rpm. Let me denote the suffix speed as N1 and the line current as IL1. Let us draw the circuit of the DC shunt motor, where we are going to write down the armature which is in parallel with the shunt field winding, and the supply voltage, that is V of 200 volts, is applied. Now here let us mark the notations, that is the current which will flow through this. Let me mark it as IL1, and the current which will flow here is I shunt 1, and the current which will flow here is IA1. So the resistance which is there in the shunt field winding is denoted as R shunt, and for the armature it is denoted as RA. And obviously we have to make a practice that the EB should be written next to here, the back EMF which is produced from the armature, that is motor. Now, so this will be our first circuit. Okay, now we have to find out the additional resistance that should be connected in the armature circuit. Which is the armature circuit? This is the armature circuit, right? So let us draw the second diagram where the resistance will be added to the armature circuit. So let us draw here. So this is how we are going to get the field winding, and this will be the voltage supply which is applied here, same. Okay, and here let us denote the value again IL2. Okay, and this will be I shunt 2, and this is what the Rx which you have to find out, which is in series with the armature, and the armature resistance is RA and the back EMF EB. Okay, and the current which will flow to this will be IA2. Okay, for this the speed is getting reduced to N2, that is 800 rpm. Okay, now here let us find out the speed, let us find out the Rx value when the condition is, the first condition is given as the load torque is proportional to the speed. When the load torque is proportional to the speed. So let us find out the Rx value here. Rx value for the first question, sub question, when the load torque T is proportional to the speed. Okay. Now, but what you know that? But we know that torque is proportional to flux into Ia. Is it or not? We know that torque is proportional to flux into Ia, where flux will be considered as a constant in the DC shunt motor. Is it? Right? So therefore, from this, the torque is proportional to Ia. From this, you can write torque is proportional to Ia. If the torque is proportional to Ia, and here torque is proportional to N, that means we can write it as the speed N is proportional to Ia. That means this speed is proportional to Ia. Okay. So from this, we can write it as the speed is proportional to Ia. Okay. Fine. Now let us take up the two equations. With this, we will take up the two equations. Why are considering this? Because we are intention to find out the Rx value. To this resistance Rx, what current is flowing? The armature current? Yes or no? Ia2. Ia2 is flowing through the Rx. Yes. So to determine what value of the current is flowing there, so this equation will help you out to solve the Ia2. Now with the help of this relationship, let us write down N1 divided by N2 is equal to Ia1 divided by Ia2. N1 divided by N2 is equal to Ia1 divided by Ia2. So what all the values do we know here? Let us mark. So we know N1, we know N2, right? Okay. See here, we should find out Ia1 so that we can find out Ia2. How do you determine Ia1? See, let us apply the KCL to this node, to the first circuit. What are the incoming currents? IL1 is the incoming current, and Ia1 and I shunt 1 is the outgoing current. Yes or no? In this, again you have to find out. We know IL1 you will substitute, but we don't know I shunt 1. So according to the Ohm's law, it's very simple to solve the I shunt 1. So we know that I shunt 1 is equal to voltage, supply voltage divided by the R shunt value. So here let us substitute 200 divided by R shunt value as 100. So it leads to 2 amperes. So we got I shunt 1 as 2 amperes. So we came to know about this value right now. Okay. So from this we can find out what will be the Ia1 value. Therefore, Ia1 is equal to IL1 minus I shunt 1. So IL1 is given 22. This is 2 ampere. So it leads to 20 amps. So once you came to know what is Ia1, let us substitute here. Therefore, what is the speed N1? 1000 divided by N2, 800. What is Ia1? 20 divided by Ia2. Just perform a cross multiplication and you will get the answer Ia2 as 16 amperes. Ia2 as 16 amperes. This is what the value we get. The current which will flow through this Rx value. Now you can find out what will be the Rx. How? By applying the KVL to this loop. Just hide this shunt and apply the KVL to this circuit. So you will get one voltage equation. What is that voltage equation? So you will get the voltage equation as this. Let me take the EB as back EMF for the second circuit as EB2 and the for first circuit is EB1. So therefore we get EB2 is equal to V minus IA2 into, this is the unknown resistance Rx and Ra is in series, so therefore you have to write Rx plus Ra. Okay, with this voltage equation you can find out the Rx value, but here again we don't know what is EB2. We don't know what is EB2. Okay, how to find out that EB2? You have to find out the EB2 value, right? So to get that value, so here the voltage equation is V minus IA2 into Rx plus Re. Let it be like that only. Okay, let it be like that only. Now we will make use of the speed relationship. We will make use of the speed relationship so that we can be able to solve the Rx value. So what is that? Realize the speed equation. We know that speed, that is N, is proportional to EB by flux, but the flux is again constant. So let us take up this relationship and find out what is the value of Rx. So what you will do now? Again we will write the equation N1 by N2 is equal to EB1 divided by EB2. So once again you have to write down what will be the EB1 equation. So from this circuit, okay, for the first circuit you have to find out what is the EB1 equation. Again I told you, just hide this portion and apply the KVL to this loop. So you'll get EB1 is equal to, EB1 is equal to V minus IA1 into Ra. Okay, so here all the values are known to you. So you just solve this once again. So you'll get EB1 as around 198 volts. Just check that. After substituting all that values, you will get EB1 as 198 volts. Okay. Now let's move on to solve this. N1 by N2 is equal to EB1 by EB2. Now let's move on with this to solve the N1 by N2 is equal to EB1 divided by EB2. When we substitute the value N1 is 1000 and N2 is 800 and EB1 is 198 and EB2, the voltage equation what you wrote here, V minus IA2 into Rx plus Ra. So the same thing, V minus, that is 200 minus IA2. How much we got? The IA2 16 into Rx plus the armature resistance 0.1. Okay, so just cross multiply and solve this answer. Okay, so we'll get the answer Rx as around 2.5 ohms. 2.5 ohms. So we'll get the Rx value as 2.5 ohms. Okay, so we get the value as 2.5 ohms. Okay, fine. So this is about the first case. Next, moving on with the second case, how to find out the unknown value of a resistance. For the second case, they have given the load torque varies as the square of the speed. For the second case, they have given load of the, that is the load torque varies as the square of the speed. That means T is proportional to N square. Right? Okay. But as here we know that T is proportional to what? Ia. We know that T is proportional to Ia. Therefore, with the help of this, we can say that N square is proportional to Ia. Therefore, we can write the RHS N square is proportional to Ia. Okay. So again write down the equation. n1 by n2 is whole square, n1 by n2 whole square is equal to IA1 divided by IA2. n1 by n2 whole square is equal to IA1 divided by IA2 whole square, IA1 divided by IA2. Okay. So once again what you will do here, you will find out the value of IA2. Okay, solve for that. So when you substitute 1000 divided by 800 is equal to IA1, we got the answer. IA1, we got the answer as around 20 ampere, right? So 20, okay, this the value IA2, right? IA1, it is 20, right? 20 divided by IA2. So when you solve this, so we'll get answer IA2 as around 12.8 amps. It is around 12.8 amps. So this is the value of the armature current. Okay. Now we found what is the current flowing through this unknown resistance Rx when the condition the torque is proportional to square of the speed. We have to now find out the Rx. Where does this Rx is lying? Nearer to the CB equation. So you have to apply the voltage equation. Okay. Similarly, what you did in the case 1, what you did, we applied EB2 is equal to V minus IA2 into Rx plus RA. Realize that equation. Okay. Then keep it as it is. Then EB1 already you have solved. It is 198. You need not to worry. Okay. Then what you have to change here, when you come back to this, the same answer, 1000 divided by 800 is equal to 198 divided by